This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee. Thy elders, and they will tell thee. Verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. Verse 9. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is the son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles of great millstone who well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. Our brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 7 through 9, is that we're commanded by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to remember the days of old. Consider the many generations of our forefathers. And understand that when you consider the generations of our forefathers, all right, and you go into history, you have to accept that the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance, meaning that because we are the Lord's chosen people, we are given certain rights. All right? Because when you go into the word inheritance, it means a thing that is inherited, a legacy, birthright, heritage. Okay? Etymology, inheritance, fact of receiving by hereditary succession, that which is or may be inherited, right? And that's why you have to go back into the past, read from the beginning, the book of Genesis, of the inherited blessing, the birthright. So let's go now to the book of Genesis, because now that the Lord, all right, has given his people in these last days the truth of who they are, that they're Israelites, all right, that we walked with Moses, all right, escaping out of Egypt. We were with King David, King Solomon, all right? When you remember that, you also have to remember that, hey, we have a birthright, we have a blessing, and part of that blessing is to inherit these heathens, especially Esau, Edom. So let's get into the inheritance, okay, that the Lord gave to us, because we're his chosen people. He inherited us for himself. In fact, let me get that. I got it right here. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee, okay? He inherited us to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth, right? And with that comes privileges. With that comes, okay, a legacy, a birthright, okay? 7, the Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. 8, but because the Lord loved you and because he would keep the oath which he has sworn unto your fathers, again, remember the days of old. Consider the many generations, right? And that's why we give double honors to our apostles, all right, who taught us, hey, man, in the book of Genesis, hey, it talks about the birthright, all right? It talks about Esau and Jacob. And because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, right? And the blessing, hey, even goes further than with Jacob. It goes back to Isaac, goes back to Abraham, okay? Hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. 9. Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is Yahweh, the faithful power, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. Right, so the Lord kept this promise, all right? We were going to inherit, all right, certain rights, okay, because we were chosen, okay? So now, let's go into the account of the blessing, all right, in which you heathens, especially you Edomites, all right, because this is the main focus between Jacob and Esau in Genesis 27, all right, you Edomites, you are possession towards us, all right, we are inheriting you as a possession, okay, as property, all right, so let's get it, I'm going to get to the point. You can read the whole thing, but I want to get to the point. Genesis 27, verse 22, and Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. Right. This is when Jacob supplanted his father to get the blessing. Okay. And it had to play out like this because already Esau already gave up his birthright. All right, for that red pottage. All right, and lentils. All right, because he was hungry. So he gave his birthright because he was hungry. All right, which proves that Esau didn't value the birthright. He didn't value, okay, what came to be the Lord's chosen people. 23. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy as his brother's Esau's hands, so he blessed him. 24. And he said, art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. 25. And he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank. 26. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now, and kiss me, my son. 27. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. 28. Here it goes. Therefore, the Most High Power Yahweh gave thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. 29. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curses thee, and blessed be he that blesses thee. There you go. So there it is, man. There's the inheritance. All right? Because Jacob, all right, was chosen, all right, to be given the kingdom of heaven. And in it, you heathens, all right, especially you Edomites, you are going to serve us, okay, and bow down to us, all right? And if you buck up, there's a penalty for it, okay? Now, I want to go to the law, because the law, all right, makes it plain, all right? And that's why, you got these pseudo-Hebrew Israelites. One comes to mind, GOCC, that claims that Esau can make it, that Esau has equal right to our inheritance, that is totally off. That is totally backwards, man. Okay? So now let's go into the law, because the law makes it plain. Leviticus chapter 25, verse 38. I am the Lord your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give you the land of Canaan, and to be your power. All right? That's why you imposters, you're in our homeland. Okay? You're not supposed to be there. That's not yours. All right? That wasn't given to you. It was given to us by Yahweh Bashim Shai as an inheritance. Okay? A legacy. "39. And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxen poor, and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant." See? Yeah, there's difference. There's a major difference between an Israelite servant and a heathen servant. 40. But as an hired servant, right? All right? And a fellow Israelite who becomes a servant to another fellow Israelite, he has to pay him for his labor. All right? And as a sojourner, he shall be with thee and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee. Right? Meaning, I believe that's 7 years. Okay? Right. It couldn't be forever. It had to be a certain time period. All right? Within this law. 41. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, unto the possession of his father shall he return. 42. For they are my servants. Right. Because if you're born Israelite, all right, you're already given a certain status in the world. All right. We have certain rights, a birthright. All right. And we were chosen above all these nations. So every Israelite in the eyes of the Lord, okay, is special. It's a special people. All right. Which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt, they shall not be sold as a bondman. There you go. 43. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shall fear thy power. That's another thing. See, when captivity comes for you heathens, we're gonna rule y'all in rigor. Okay? All right? All right? Okay? Because, hey, that's why the Lord made it specific. Hey, when it comes to your own Israelite brethren, you're not supposed to rule them in rigor. But when it comes to these heathens, hey, man, we're going to rule you in rigor. All right, let's go to the word rigor. All right? We're going to put hell on y'all, man, just like you did to us. Okay? Let's go to interliner. Bear with me one moment. Okay. Okay. It means to harshness, severity, cruelty. There you go. Okay. So we're going to rule over you heathens in harshness and severity and cruelty. All right. So, hey, get ready. All right. Because that's why hey, man, it's beautiful, man. Because the Lord said, hey, in our law, when it comes to your fellow Hebrew Israelite, okay, brethren, you're supposed to treat them with dignity, honor, respect. All right? They're special people just like you. Yeah, they may not have, that's why this law was out, because back then you had certain Israelites that may not have had land, they may not have had certain possessions, so they would have to serve their, their fellow Hebrew Israelite brethren, all right, and be paid, okay, to build up their wealth and their possession, so then they can leave and then, buy a plot of land, all right? But for you heathens, check this out. Check this out, okay? Leviticus 25, verse 44. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids which thou shalt have shall be of the heathen. Right, so now the Lord is saying, okay, when it comes to bondmen and bondmaids which thou shalt have, shall be the heathen that are round about, and of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. Right. So now there's a level to this. Okay. 45. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begot in your land, and they shall be your possession. Right. You heathens are our possession. Okay. You will bow down to us. You will serve us. We are your lords. Okay. That is the legacy. That is the birthright that was given to Jacob. Okay. 46. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children. Woo! What's that word inheritance in the Hebrew? Let's go to that one. Okay. It's Nahala. Okay. Nakhala. Nakhala. Which means to get as a possession, acquired, inherit possession. Okay? So that's what y'all are. Okay? You're a possession for us and our children. This is our legacy. Okay? To inherit them for a possession, they shall be your bondman forever. But over your brethren, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor. Right? There you go, man. Because they're an Israelite. All right? There's a certain respect and dignity you got to give for your fellow brethren. Okay? Honor, respect. All right? Hospitality, generosity, charity. Okay? All that. Yeah, man, you heathens are, and that's why you pseudo-Hebrew Israelites like GOCC talking about Esau can make a yada your mind, man. All right? That's not scriptural. All right? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 60, verse 11. Start at 9. Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish. First, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the Lord thy power, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he had glorified thee. Right, and the Lord is glorifying us, man. We're going to get everything back. That's the inheritance, all right? That's what the Lord promised to our forefathers, all right? That we will have the fatness of the earth, okay? And planets. We're going to have planets too. All right? Because the Lord created everything for our sake, man. Okay? We're going to get the riches, the gold, the women, everything. All right? You heathens. 10. Here's the point. 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls. The sons of strangers shall build up thy walls. And their king shall minister, meaning serve, okay, unto thee. For in my wrath I've smote thee, but in my favor I had mercy on thee. Right? Because the Lord has kept his promise. Kept his covenant with our forefathers, all right? And all you got to do is go back to Genesis 27, that birthright, okay? That Isaac gave to Jacob, all right? And again, it was already given to Jacob from the beginning, all right? The birthright and the blessing, because the Lord already told Rebekah, all right? The elder shall serve the younger. And who came out first out of Rebekah's womb? Esau. Who came out second? Jacob. All right? 11. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles. Right? When you go into the forces, it means the wealth. All right? So everything you heathens have that you've been laboring for, gold and silver, all right? The resources, that's all coming back to us, all right? That's all coming back to us. And that your kings may be brought. 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. Right, because it all goes back to the beginning. All right? If you nations are not going to serve us, then there's a curse onto y'all, man. All right? And that's being put down, okay? Because you are property, all right? You are property towards us. 13. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. 14. The sons also of them that afflicted thee, right, who afflicted us, all right? Especially you Edomites, you so-called white people, All right, we had to serve hardcore bondage, man, hardcore slavery. Okay, you even make movies about it. Okay, shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow down themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. There you go. Okay, that's the inheritance. That's the blessing. That's the the birthright for us. And you're gonna be our possession. Okay, that's why you got. That's why you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, you shouldn't be shaken in mind. All right, you got to go back into the history, into the beginning. All right, this was promised to us that these heathens will be our possession, that they'll be serving us, that we will be lords over them. Okay. And I'll bring this out too, just to edify the point. 2nd Esdras 6:54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. Deuteronomy 7:6. All right, we're a chosen people. All right, the Lord chose us above all these people. We're a special people. Okay, we're His portion. We're in His inheritance, and part of that inheritance, all right, is that these heathens, all right, will be serving us. Okay, that's why the Lord, okay, chose one nation above all. All right, because He favored us. He loved us. Okay. 55. All this have spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. 56. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing. So these heathens are nothing. So again, you pseudo Hebrew Israelites that, GOCC, for example, that are pushing out that BS that Esau has the right to be joint heirs with the promise of Jacob, and they can inherit the kingdom in heaven and be at the status of an Israelite. You're going off, man. Okay, the Lord said that they are nothing. But be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. Right. If that doesn't show you how the Lord really thinks about these other nations, man, there's something wrong with you, man. And you need to do a lot of praying and a lot of fasting. All right. You have to agree with this. If you don't agree with this, you're not going to be saved. Okay? This is part of the doctrine. Okay? If you don't agree that these Edomites are going to be serving us in hardcore slavery, that they're going to be subjected onto us, okay? That they, all right, were not given the promise, we were given the promise that they, all right, are going to be out in the field getting our resources. If you can't agree with that, salvation ain't for you, man. All right, that's why there's a small number, but this is part of the Lord's doctrine. Okay, 100% true, not 95%, not 90%. 57. And now, O Lord, because behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. Right, because we're serving them now. We're at the bottom. We're at the gas station at the if you're working at the gas station, or if you're working as a postal service, okay, or you're at the restaurant being a waiter, okay, or you're at the warehouse, okay, we're serving them. All right. Oh, the prison industrial complex, the cheap labor. Who makes up majority of the prison industrial complex? All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. All right, and that's where they get the cheap labor from, the free labor. Okay. 58. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, the only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. 59. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? Right, because the world was made for our sakes. Okay. In fact, one more. I believe it's Isaiah 45 and 18, if I'm not mistaken. Isaiah 45, I'll start at 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. Right, so that's the world, okay? The world of the Israelites. All right, so now when you read John 3:16, you should know what world is talking about. All right. For 18, for thus saith the Lord that created the heavens, the Most High himself that formed the earth and made it, he hath established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. I am the Lord, and there is none else. 19, I have not spoken in secret in a dark place of the earth. I said not unto the seed of Jacob, seek ye me in vain. I, the Lord, speak righteousness. I declare things that are right. Right. So, hey, the Lord's making it plain. Okay, this world was created to be inhabited, and it was created for our sake. All right, for the seed of Jacob. And part of it, okay, of this blessing, okay, of this legacy is to have heathens for slaves, for bondmen and bondwomen. Okay, just want to bring that out. Let's go back and finish it off. Back to 2nd Esdras 6 and 59. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with it? How long shall this endure? Right, because Esdras is going back to the promises, to the covenant. He's going back to the beginning. He's remembering, all right, the covenant that was made with Abraham, the covenant that was made with Isaac, the covenant that was made with Jacob, okay? The blessing, all right, the birthright, the legacy. That's why he's like, Lord, how long? All right, you promised that we, okay, will be on top. All right, that this world was made for our sake, okay, and that's why you got to have spiritual eyes, because look what's going on in the world today. All right, that means that the Lord's coming, all right, to give us the kingdom of heaven, so that we can inherit the blessings. All right, that legacy that was promised to us. All right, and that's why you got to be up in the spirit and really see, like, yo, we're almost out of here. We're about to be on top. No more getting up early in the morning working for these devils. No more paying, all right, BS taxes. No more, okay, paying bills. What bills? We're on top, man. We're kings and priests. Bills, hey, that's not for us, man. Okay, and that's why you got to remember. And you got to consider the generations. You got to, remember the days of old, all right? And understand that, the promise was given to Jacob, all right? We are the Lord's portion. He inherited us, to be a chosen people unto himself. And part of that is a great blessing, which is to have servants and handmaids, all right, slaves, to build our kingdom and to work for us. Because, again, all right, we ain't going to be working, all right? They're going to be working. So with that, for 1,000 years, okay? So with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Wakakradash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep studying. Pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Pray for the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. We're almost out of here. Let's keep going. To the few sisters that are watching, keep studying. When you pray with your head covered. Shalom and a Bible Paul. Shalom.